What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus. You found me here on YouTube, so make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. Like the video if you like it. Share it to your friends. Leave a crispy comment and tap the bell. I don't know what you're waiting for. You don't want to miss any content. But what we are going to get into today is Bears news. After the Bears lost, I've been off for a little while, so I did a little news roundup. I will be a little bit more active here on the videos on a weekly basis probably, and on the Twitter machine where you can follow me at Shy Bears Plus on Twitter and on Instagram, where I also share some of my tweets and some of the dankest memes. Let's go. So, Matt Nagy, 2018 Coach of the Year, so crispy, you love to see it. We're talking about a guy who takes the Bears from worst to first in his very first year at the helm of the Chicago Bears. Brings the Bears to 12-4 for the season, losing the playoffs, but first playoffs, and can't even remember how long. Totally changed the culture of this team, which is probably what he most deserves for this Coach of the Year award. Whether it be your boom breakout sessions or your BU, the family culture that everybody talks about, the we over me, we not me culture. Chicago Bears have had, be obsessed. All of those different things is just what a huge change it's been from the last 3 years of John Fox just rah, 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 to the media and to the fans, and just no connection whatsoever to where, you have a Nagy type who is bringing the fans into the game plan, saying, hey, we need you to be loud, this new atmosphere at Soldier Field, raid sirens, all those things. What a culture change. So crispy. You absolutely love to see it. Even though I'm usually skeptical of all the catchphrases and the go-teamisms and all that stuff, somehow he was able to relate with all these players, everybody in the organization. Everyone seemed to be in line with his Nagy way of doing things. I was shocked. All the be obsessed stuff at first, I was kind of like, is this going to work? Dude, it's worked. No doubt about it. Coach of the Year. And then on top of all that, you want to add in some Willy Wonka as a Santa sleigh, T formation, all this creativity that we got in 2018, as opposed to almost falling asleep on offense with the Dowell log jams and John Fox era of Chicago Bears football. So congratulations, Matt Nagy, 2018 Coach of the Year. Moving on next to Vic Fangio, 2018 Assistant Coach of the Year. The Bears were number one in so many categories, or at least top 5 on defense. Did a great job. I think that whoever replaces him, will do a great job as well. I mean, sometimes coaches make players, players make coaches. This is a good defensive team. It's going to be pretty hard to screw this thing up, considering that we're probably going to have back 9 starters at least, depending on what happens with Amos and Callahan. So, that being said, it's going to be so hard. I don't know if it's a chicken or the egg. Is the players make the coach make the players, do players get coaches hired and fired? Yeah. Do they get them promoted? Yeah. But can they get them fired as well? Yes. I don't know. I had my criticisms of the man sometimes, but I will say congratulations and good luck as you move on to be the new Denver Broncos head coach. So bye-bye, Vic Fangio. Hello, Chuck Pagano. So I personally love the hire. Previous success with Baltimore defensive coordinator. Previous success with some winning teams down in Indianapolis, 6 years as a head coach. So it's like a perfect compliment to Matt Nagy. The same thing where you had with Fangio, where you could have your defensive coordinator be the CEO of the defense, take care of all that, let Nagy continue to grow this offense in year 2, where we should see leaps and bounds improvements out of Trubisky and the rest of the crew all playing together, knowing the terminology, being able to make that next step. So I think that he will be able to just let Pagano go and make the improvements that he needs to make. They are hoping that Pagano is going to be a little bit more aggressive than a Fangio was. I was also critical of Fangio sometimes, where I felt like, hey, your defense is better than this offense. You could just go take the ball away. You could just man up. You don't always have to play it so safe. Sometimes when your offense is rolling, you got to win it on defense, and you have to take some chances. And so I would like a little bit more aggressiveness. It sounded like Pace thought that Pagano was going to be a little bit more aggressive. But I also didn't need some kind of a change at defensive coordinator where we're bringing in a blitz guy. Like, I don't believe that a philosophy guy. I just don't believe in it. You identify the strengths and weaknesses of the offense that you're going up against, and sometimes you need to adjust, put your defensive players in the best situation to play that offense that week. I like guys with flexibility and guys who know how to make adjustments inside the game, and guys who put my guys in a position to take away their best players and then dominate the other team. You know, it's checkers, not chess. And, chess, not checkers, really, when you're playing defensive coordinator or any coordinator in the NFL. I just really feel I don't really need some guy who's going to go, and I'm going to blitz 60% of the time. Doesn't matter. I want you to do what it takes to win and be able to identify those things through self-scouting and scouting the other team. So anyway, as always, finally, Ryan Pace, it probably took him just a couple of days to find a replacement. Always fast on the trigger and with conviction. It's like the guy knows the future and knows how to be ready for it at any given time, which brings me to my next point with news. Ryan Pace snubbed for Executive of the Year. So Pace is a guy who improves his team, offensive, personnel, players, everything. Hires the Coach of the Year, revamps an offense, brings back Fangio when we all thought he just might leave, does all the things that you need him to do, and then he doesn't get the award after the Bears go worst to first and 12-4. Amazing season. Respected again, finally. So anyway, this was a screw job, and there's no other way for me to say it. Ballard wins from the Colts, and it's not like Pace just had a bunch of players that were hurt and came back like Andrew Luck, a Pro Bowler. That was the most significant thing that happened to the Colts and why they started winning. Is because they got their leader back and they got their best player back. That wasn't a move that he made. The guy got healthy. So get an award for that. I think it's ridiculous. I know he made some good draft picks, things like that, but I don't know if people were just scared to let the Bears win all the awards and they got to throw someone a bone, and Ballard did a pretty good job. But I just think the fact that that Luck getting healthy was the main reason why I felt like the Colts were better. So that's just no reason to give somebody the Executive of the Year award. It should be for moves made. Anyway, speaking of moves made, Bobby Massie 4-year extension. I'm ecstatic. This O-line, I don't know if it was a combination of this O-line being that much better or Trubisky being able to escape the rush, but such an improvement as far as sacks go and protection this year for the Chicago Bears. Mitch had plenty of time. I know that with the ability of Mitch being able to get away with some of the mistakes because he can escape and keep his eyes on the field and keep plays alive or take off with the ball, that had helped them look good. But I think it was a combination between the two which made it such a dynamic improvement for this offense this year. But as you see it again, guys that produce, even if there aren't guys that we drafted, guys that we brought in that were veterans, Pace seems to like to go after guys, second contract, 26 to 30 range, where people are moving into their prime of their adult life. And those things have really paid off, like Akeem Hicks and Danny Trevathan in a Bobby Massie type. And he's still getting another contract, rewarding a guy that maybe they didn't really draft, but one of the guys, the veteran types that they like to bring in. I'm happy to see it. I think $8 million is a fair price for a top 10 tackle in the league, probably higher than top 10. And, you got to pay for quality. And it is what it is. I love the deal. Let's make sure you keep Mitch safe. And the biggest two moves that we have to look forward to in this offseason are we keeping Amos and are we keeping Callahan? We'll make videos about that further on down the line. And finally, shout-outs, Pro Bowl shout-outs. Number one, the Pro Bowl is trash. Tried to watch it this year. So garbage, so distracted, so much playing on my phone. Not crispy at all, folks. But anyway, shout out to Trubisky, Cohen, Leto Jr., Whitehair, Cool Mac did not play, but got the old nod. Akeem Hicks was out there running around. Kyle Fuller with a crispy interception. So great, you love to see it. And Eddie Jackson, well done, you guys. Way to represent the blue and orange. So I am Robert at Shy Bears Plus on YouTube. Hit subscribe, like the videos, tap the bell so you don't miss any content. We're just here talking Bears football or plus whatever we feel like talking about. And don't forget to follow me, Robert, at Shy Bears Plus on Twitter and on Instagram. That's all she wrote.
Drop.